artificial life. A concept which has fascinated mathematicians, programmers, and philosophers across all of history. In the year 1970, a mathematician named John Conway created his game of life, a simple set of rules which, when put together, creates beautiful complexity, resembling how organisms work in real life. The game has since been studied to the extremes, with people classifying all the types of organisms, making fully functional computers in it, and even recreating the game of life itself inside the game of life. It's a true statement to the beauty of simplicity and brings into question what it even means to be alive. I want to see it fight. But Carter, how does this game of life actually work? We start with a grid. You can call it Earth, Mars, Heaven, Hell, or even Pluto, but to the cells which reside there, it's known simply home. And for the poor cells that do live there, there's not really that much that they can do. In fact, there's only two things they can do. They can live or die. And they don't even get to choose. We represent a live cell by shading it, and we represent a dead cell by not shading it. Each cell on this terrible grid lives and dies by 4 rules, relating to each cell's 8 neighbors. 1. Any cell with fewer than 2 live neighbors dies, as if by underpopulation. 2. Any live cell with 2 or 3 live neighbors lives on to the next generation. 3. Any live cell with more than 3 neighbors dies, as if by overpopulation. And finally, 4. Any dead cell with exactly 3 neighbors becomes a live cell, as if by reproduction. So by just applying those 4 rules over and over again, we get life. But how do we make it fight? It's not actually that hard. First, we make 2 colors of cells. We'll say red and blue. See, when we're applying the 4 rules, we check each cell's 8 neighbors anyway, so we'll just count how many are red and how many are blue. Then, in the next iteration, if there's more red neighbors, we'll make it red. And if there's more blue neighbors, we'll make it blue. If there's the same number of red and blue neighbors, we'll just make the cell purple. But it's still just pixels on a screen. What's the point of anything if I can't win? So we're gonna make it into a game that I can beat my little brother in. I decided to take heavy inspiration from Super Auto Pets, a game about buying animals and then making them fight other people's animals. The game is broken into 2 phases, a shop phase and a battle phase. For the shop phase, I drew a quick background and made a 25 by 25 grid where players will create their team. In the top is the shop, which offers 3 organisms at a time. Players can spend 3 gold for an organism or 1 gold to re-roll the shop. I split the available organisms to buy into 3 different tiers, which get better as the game goes on. Tier 1 is composed of all the worst animals. Most of the animals in Tier 1 do absolutely nothing, like this square, which doesn't move, it doesn't create or destroy cells. This is a common trend in Tier 1, where you see all of these things do nothing. The only moving member of Tier 1 is this line, which alternates between vertical and horizontal every generation for all of infinity. He's a little bit schizophrenic. Then, in Tier 2, we've got some moving pieces. The classic glider is here in Tier 2, and it moves diagonally in the direction it's pointed. There's also lightweight and medium-weight spaceships, which move orthogonally. Finally, closing out Tier 2 is another oscillator, the toad, which does this. But Tier 3 is where things really get crazy. Tier 3 is composed of Methuselahs, which are small structures that create large chain reactions. This right here is the R pentamino, which takes 1,103 generations to stabilize. One fun fact is that the classic glider was discovered by a man named Richard K. Guy while he was watching an R pentamino. Tier 3 also has this U shape, which makes a butterfly, and this thing, which I could not find the name for, but it's mathematically proven to create infinite cells over time. Then we move into the battle phase. In the battle phase, the 2 players' grids are placed in each corner, and then the simulation begins. On the right side of the screen is a bar which shows who has more live cells. If one player managed to stay in the lead for 500 or more generations, the round ends immediately, and that player is determined the winner. With all of that being said, the whole point of this was so that I could have something to win against my little brother at. So let's get into the game. Round 1 was pretty chill. I used my starting glider to collide with a square and made this butterfly pattern, and Cooper made this thing.
How do you see like what it'll simulate?
Hold spacebar.
Oh, I do not want to do that.
But after some minor adjustments, he actually was able to win the first round.
Oh no! Wait. Oh no! Let's go!
Round 2 is much better for me, and I think a big part of that was that Cooper didn't know what Conway's Game of Life was 5 minutes before we started. In round 3, we got access to the tier 2 organisms, and I accidentally lost all my money by placing my organisms off the grid, which is a bug, and whoever coded this definitely should have done a better job. Cooper added some spaceships to his grid, and the battle was close, but Cooper did just barely eke out a victory here. Then we had some minor technical difficulties. Did you press fire?
Yes. Fire.
Okay, and now we're both gonna... Here we go.
Alright. So
Round 4. And I won round 4.
wait, hold on. I might be cooking here. No.
Just kidding. We have more technical difficulties. We did eventually fix it. It took a minute. Then we played the next couple of rounds, and finally we were in the finals. The score is 4-4, and the winner would win the entire thing, getting bragging rights for the next day. So high stakes.
Wait, keep doing that. Keep doing that.
Okay, hold on. That glider's gonna fix it all. That glider's gonna save it all. Oh no, it didn't. It turned into a square. It turned into a pink square. Why did it turn into a pink square?
We're so bad. I think I got this.
This is the game point?
Yes, sir. It's such an active point state. Let's go.
Cooper won. It was a tragic day for America.